All right, so we're waiting on this live press conference, which is supposed to happen any second now. I was on the San Antonio PD Facebook page, but they don't even have at least I don't think they do. They don't have a live broadcast set up yet. So I was looking for a different page, and I came across this. Hang on a second. I came across this, which is the Reuters page, Reuters News. And they are actually live, they're ready. They're live already. So PD is supposed to walk up momentarily and explain that the rumor that they've made an arrest in the case. We're talking about the death, the unaliving or murder. I don't know why it can't be said the word murder, but of Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra. So some kind of arrest was made. And there was another guy who was live also broadcasting it, and he's like, man, the suspense is killing us already. What's taking them so long to come out? Because it was about an hour ago that they said that there was an arrest and they should be live within the hour. Well, now it's just over an hour. And so we're just waiting. Put a banner up here. There he is. We're live, and that's the guy they have arrested. It looks like the guy that from the video footage that came out of the pickup truck that they keep showing in the parking spots.
Are you sorry for what happened? Did you know she was pregnant?
Oh, always fake news. So.
This is your final chance to say something about your side.
Hey guys, we're going this way.
Yeah, guys, always one sided. You don't even know what's going on.
Shitty video.
For the family, you sorry?
They want to know why. Why did you do it?
You sorry?
Did you do it? Why did you do it?
Did you know she was pregnant? Huh? Did you do it?
Why was it the whole family?
Close to Christmas? Why, man? You need remorse? You sorry? Aren't you sorry for lying about what you're saying? You don't even know what's going on. Well, tell us. You just made stuff up. Like always. Tell us. What's going on? Did you shoot them?
An unborn baby.
Did you kill them or did you just hide the evidence?
He's not going to talk. He's an idiot if he says anything.
You know Savannah. You sorry?
If it wasn't you, who was it then?
Oh, the crappy internet stream. I mean, I think it's funny that they ask him, why did you do it? Why did you do it? And here comes the second suspect. Is that a woman?
Are you sorry for what happened? Anything to say to your family? How does it make you feel, an unborn baby? What do you want to say to your family, to Savanah, to Matthew's family?
You sorry? You sorry?
Nothing to say, an unborn child.
It was an entire family.
You sorry?
I can't tell if that was a male or a female. I mean, maybe just a guy with long hair, right? No, I think the people ask, even though I know they're just throwing shit out there to see if they're going to answer. But those dudes would be stupid to answer a question and admit to anything at all. I think it's dumb for them to ask. Like, you really think they're going to answer? I mean, the first guy started to answer like, you don't know the whole story. And I would agree. I would say, you know what? Why are you asking? We don't even know what. What does that say? It's probably a test for color and brightness, that kind of thing.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sergeant Washington Moscoso, WASHINGTON MOSCOSO. So the individuals you saw this evening, the first individual's name is Ramon Preciado, 53 years old, SID number 443651. The second individual was Christopher Preciado, 19 years old, SID number 1191061. So the two individuals we just walked out today, again, is a father and son. The first individual is a father. The second individual is a son. They're going to be charged. The son's going to be charged this evening with capital murder, and the father's going to be charged with abuse of a corpse.
Oh, so the father was
So I'm not going to go into
abuse
the
of
whole
a
thing.
corpse
We
is
all
usually
know what kind of led us to this to where we are today. I will say that when we recover, or when the bodies were discovered on Danny K, obviously the investigation
this internet
made that
feeds.
location and started collecting evidence. One of the key pieces of evidence that we did collect at the cell phone, and so our technology team was in there with enough information, and so that information was given to our detectives today. With that information, the detectives were able to.
Hang on, I'm gonna switch feeds. I got the other one from Facebook.
I'm sorry, the first individual, the father answered the door. He knew why the police were there. Was cooperated fully with the investigation. We're brought here to headquarters, and our detectives were able to start interviewing both the son and the father. Again, they were both at the home. They were both brought down here, and the interrogations began. Through interrogating the individuals, our detectives had enough, based on what they said, there was enough information there to get a warrant signed by a judge tonight, again, to charge Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. Again, there will be more charges pending. This is what we have right now. I'll answer any questions you might have.
Due to the capital murder for the son and then abuse of the corpse charge for the dad, does that mean that you guys believe the son killed them and then the dad helped hide the bodies?
Yes. And so I want to touch base on something real quick. Since the release of the video that we put out on the 28th, internet has blown up with people sending tips and people just sending misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there. These two individuals are the only suspects that we were looking for. They were arrested. There were many names being thrown around on the internet. Those people had nothing to do with this. We vetted them and everything. They didn't have anything to do with these murderers. So the individual, again, Christopher, we believe committed the murders of Matthew and Savannah, and then Ramon helped kind of dump the body. It appears to be a narcotic-related deal that went bad.
Do we know the connection between this father and son and Matthew and Savannah, or the connection to the apartment complex?
So there's no apparent connection to the apartment complex. It's just a place where they went to go dispose or hide the vehicle with the bodies in it. And it appears that it was a drug deal. So there was like a drug connection to the suspect and the two victims.
When you say abuse of a corpse, can you talk about that a little bit? Was there any
mutilation, or is that?
It's just when you hiding the body, moving the body after discovering that and all that kind of stuff. Yep.
When he killed them, what exactly?
So the December 21st, which is a Thursday, just before midnight, is when the actual murders took place. On that. Mm-hmm.
And are they going to be charged for the baby? Because in the state of Texas, technically, they could be charged for.
Right. So
Great question.
Like I said, there's going to be possible charges pending, more charges pending. Our detectives are going to talk with the Bexar County DA to determine if there are going to be any charges they're going to be facing any charges related to the unborn baby.
And do we know if she was dilated at all?
I didn't have that information from the medical examiners. I know that she was scheduled to be induced, and she didn't make her appointment, which is why the family went to the police to file the missing persons report.
Which is why, yes, they reported her
I don't have
missing.
exactly location. We just know that they were killed at a different location and then taken to the apartment complex to dispose of the vehicle and the body. I know there was some Spanish questions I wanted to knock out real quick.
Sí, podría darnos un resumen pequeño para la audiencia hispana de estas personas que presentó. No, 11 preguntas.
Nada, unas preguntas. Si tienes preguntas a particular.
Sí, ¿a quiénes presentaron esta noche?
Sí, esta noche el primer señor que salió es Ramón Preciado, de 53 años, y el segundo es Christopher Preciado.
He was repeating everything he did in Spanish for the Spanish news. Just like a lot of people speculated, drug deal gone bad. And, you know, there were photos of Matthew and Savannah holding a lot of cash for whatever the reason was. I mean, we can, you know, have our ideas on that. And something went very, very bad.
Parece que había una transacción de drogas que no fue, que fue mal, la transacción de.
Man, you know what? I don't care. How do you? I don't understand killing people in the first place.
Well, I mean, someone was buying and someone was selling. So
unless you're doing some shady stuff, but how do you kill a pregnant woman? Just I don't get it. Pieces of crap.
I'm sorry, could who?
Ramon, the dad, could he be charged with the murders as well through an accomplice theory?
No, he was not. He was not there during the commission of the murders. He was there kind of, I guess he was called afterwards to help dispose or help his.
Yeah, she was 9 months pregnant. She was overdue. This was a Thursday night when they were murdered. She was murdered. They were supposed to induce on Saturday because she was overdue. They were supposed to induce on Saturday. And when she didn't make it to her appointment, that's when they started looking for her.
No.
They were not alive.
They were not alive. No.
Last question, guys. Christopher killed them. They moved the bodies to the car.
Correct. Well, I mean, I don't know if you moved them into the vehicle. The vehicle with the bodies in was driven to that apartment complex. It didn't happen at that apartment complex.
So ultimately, who's going to make
I knew it.
the decision on the final charges? Is that going to be the DA's office?
Correct. Yes. So our detective again tonight are charging them with Christopher with capital murder and Ramon with abuse of a corpse. They are working on some other charges that they're going to file. But regarding, I think specifically the question that you had about the unborn baby, they're going to have a conversation with the DA to determine whether they can charge or put the baby as another victim on.
They will.
Do you have any say whenever they talk to the DA's office?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a collaboration with our DA's
Would you
office.
say SAPD is going to seek that they're charged for the unborn baby?
Our detectives are going to do everything they can to bring justice to the family.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming out tonight.
Dang. Pieces of crap. I mean, just for murdering in the first place. Again, you know, I don't understand murder. I don't understand how you can think you're going to get away with it and not think that you may go to jail or be executed, you know, capital punishment, and think you're going to get away with it and not risk the rest of your life. I mean, what's worth it to unalive somebody? And then, on top of that, a woman pregnant And then 9 months. I mean, that baby, that's a human being inside there. It's not a clump of cells. That's a freaking person inside there about waiting to come out. That is going to be, they will make that a triple murder. It will be a triple murder. And if they don't, that'll be very disappointing. But they should make that a freaking triple murder. And I knew it. And I said this before. I knew it. It seemed, because they were saying they were killed, right? I was like, no, they happened somewhere else and they drove the car there. I bet you that's what it was. And I knew it. So the son did the actual unaliving. And then I'm sure, I have to think he panicked, called his father, who they must have been shady. All of them, the whole family, they must have been shady for the father to help cover it up. And when they say abuse of a corpse, yeah, abuse of a corpse, and some call it tampering with evidence. And they took the bodies, and either it happened in that car or they just threw them in that car, in their own car, and then they drove around with the dead bodies until they found a place to park the car. So these people deserve whatever the hell they get, pieces of crap. And yes, good job, SAPD, San Antonio Police Department, for pretty much getting to the bottom of this pretty quick. I know that they were dealing with internet and a lot of rumors and a lot of TikToks and live videos and feeds and or reels or whatever, and everybody's got their opinion. This is what happened and all these names, but they stayed focused. They filtered through all that, and it's pretty much. It seems like pretty much. I'm guessing for them to come out and talk like this, they got their confession from the son, and from the phone messages, I imagine from his phone is where they got the father from. Oh man! And guess what? This Texas is a capital murder state. Now, some of you have been with me for a couple of years. We've talked about capital murder. Do you believe in it? Capital punishment. I'm sorry, capital punishment. And I always said there are times when it's warranted, but not for everything. But for a few things, I agree with it. And it's got to be, I always said it's got to be an ironclad, no doubt about it. That's what happened. Yes, there are certain people that we don't need on this planet anymore. My opinion. This is one of those cases. And the son will definitely go away in one way or another. And the father, just for knowing and aiding and abetting, I guess it's something like that, right? Every jurisdiction has its own terms for that. But he knew what the son did. So he covered it up, helped him cover it up. Does it make him just as guilty? I think it does. I mean, he didn't pull the trigger or anything, apparently, but he knew what happened. So, he will get something reduced. But they got him. They made the arrest. It's, I was almost starting to think this was going to be one of those things where never got solved. And, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 10 years later, we're like, man, whatever happened to that? I was starting to think that until that video came out, that parking lot was where the car was, that complex where the car was found. Remember the video? The pickup truck is going one way and the car, they meet up. They make some kind of exchange there. And that was him. The big guy, the father, was the one that came out of that pickup truck. And the other guy in the car was the son. And just thinking about, man, That was either right before it happened or right after. And I'm sure the police know already. But when you saw that video, it was just after it happened or just before it happened. Yeah. Will it cause her to come out and say anything? I don't know. Maybe not. For some reason, she doesn't care about this too much. She says nobody will be brought to justice. Didn't she say that? That she didn't talk about it too much? Why? Because nobody will be brought to justice. Like, she has very little to no faith in law enforcement and wants to knock them every single chance she gets. Well, they did a freaking good ass job here. Wasn't there a third person in the surveillance video? I don't know. I only saw 2 people on that video surveillance, or the not surveillance. It was the apartment complex video. I just saw them 2. Is it possible there was someone else? Yeah, maybe. From listening to the press conference right now, it doesn't sound like there was anybody else directly involved. I guess, you know, whether there was somebody else involved, maybe with the deal or putting it together or something like that, possibly. But sounds like they got their people, and I'm so freaking glad. Sad story, and you know, not to not talk about the fact that they were involved in some shady stuff, man. You know, and what's that saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Not that it's a prize, but you know what I mean. They were shady people. They were involved in stuff. And when you're involved in that kind of stuff, you gotta know. You gotta know that is a possibility. And it's sad that she had to go and do stupid crap like that while she's about to give birth. I mean, she could have went into labor just before or in the middle of that transaction. I mean, she was overdue already, and it just who goes out on a drug deal when you're about to give birth? I mean, so sad for the baby, you know, and you know, and when it happened, nobody knew about this. Everybody like, oh my poor, that's so sad. Pregnant woman's murdered. Oh, it's a teenage girl. She's pregnant and she was killed. Oh my goodness, that's so sad. How horrible is Christmas Eve? Yeah, but look what they were dealing with. Look what they were doing. Over 9 months pregnant or overdue, whatever the time, whatever she was overdue. What the hell are you doing going on a drug deal? I mean, feel bad, yes, because people got murdered. But you got to keep that in the back of your head. They were doing shady shit, and you're playing in that dark side world. Dark side, dark things are going to happen. I only have sympathy for them because of the baby. That baby had nothing to do with any of that, and still to kill. I don't know, the whole murder thing and killing people. I just freaking horrible. Kudos to San Antonio Police Department. Did a great job, relatively speaking, quick. And glad that they brought them out, made them do the perp walk. Very glad for that. He could have been doing a drug deal she didn't know about. some of the things that I've heard, of course, I don't know if they're true or not. Some of the stuff going on Facebook and TikTok and Reels and whatever, were that they did stuff together and she was involved just as much as he was. So, you know, we won't know until more details come out. And now they'll be coming out a lot more. Sympathy because she was a teenage girl. Stupid for getting involved in this crap. Was he the reason? Her boyfriend, was he the reason that she got involved with this stuff? You know, then it's ultimately all his fault. Did they both do it together? You know, who knows? Who knows? But again, glad they got somebody, and you know, I consider this definitely good job, San Antonio Police Department, and I hope they make this a triple, because there was a child about to be born, and I feel that they will. I can't think that they wouldn't. You know, if she was only, I don't know, 2 months pregnant, 8 weeks or whatever, something like that, then they might not, right? But at 9 months, that's a whole baby in there that in a few minutes could be out and moving around and crying and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not afraid to say it. I got no sympathy for her, for him. My sympathy is for that baby, but not for her. Sorry, but not sorry. Hope to get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I'm going to guess they're going to go for capital punishment. So I'll keep following this in the next few days. All right, I'm going to call it a night. Everyone, thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for coming back for this breaking news. 2 arrests, a father and son. Presumably those 2 people that were seen in that video in the parking lot behind that apartment complex where the car was found with the bodies in it. Those are the 2 that were arrested. And if you want to see what they look like, go back and do a replay. And yeah, good job, San Antonio PD. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for being here. We'll catch up again. Night.